In this chapter on grain spawn preparation, I'm going to walk you through the steps that I use, and this works out very well for me. I start out with organic rye berries because that way I'm sure there's no pesticides or fungicides on them. The next step is to measure out our dry grains. My pressure sterilizer holds 10 1-quart jars, so I measured out 10 cups of rye berries, and now I'm over here rinsing them in the sink. I'm using hot water, and as I stir it around really well, you can see how brown this water gets. And as we pour it off, you'll see how filthy it is. There's all sorts of pieces of straw and dirt and dust and bugs and everything else in it. And if we fail to rinse this out, all of this dust and dirt will be like glue, and it'll cause our grains to stick together and clump up later. After anywhere from about a 4 to 24 hour soak, just put your pot of water on the stove and bring it to a boil. I like to boil the water first before draining it because that will help to steam off the excess moisture from the surface of the grains. Now this is what your grains should look like when they're ready to load. You can see none of them are stuck together. The grains are loose. There's no visible moisture on them at all, yet they're fully hydrated. Well, as the title to this section indicates, we have to provide some means of gas exchange to our jars so that the mycelium can breathe as it colonizes. A very simple variation on this method that many growers are using today is to buy Tyvek. You can either get it from one of the kite building supply houses, or if you go to your local home mega center, very often in the paint department, you can find Tyvek coveralls. One more method I want to show you today is the use of synthetic pillow stuffing to make a filter. In this case, you're going to want to drill a larger hole in your lid and be sure and ream it out, as you can see I'm doing here. What happens when you drill these larger holes, it tends to make burrs on the lid, and I guarantee you're going to cut your finger if you don't get in there and ream it out a little bit. Just tear off a wad of the pillow stuffing and stick it through the hole in the lid, and there you have your filter. You can allow your pressure cooker or sterilizer to cool overnight. There's no reason to open it up while the jars are still hot. Many times growers who prepare their grains improperly have found they have to open it up right after the pressure drops in order to shake the jars. But if you prepare them this way, you can wait until they're room temperature. And as you can see, when I turn the jar upside down, the kernels just separate. There's no shaking required.